Shooting involving an officer this year. Police shot and killed a man that they say didn't drop his weapon after they asked several times. The man's family members tell PICKAXE and Alyssa Gord he had a serious mental illness. They wish police had taken more precautions. Alyssa joins us live near the scene on Tanny Street, close to Springdale and Oak Springs. Alyssa?
Sydney, let me tell you what we know so far about the timeline of what happened here. First, officers were called to the home just after 4 a.m. Then a man told the 911 dispatcher that he had killed his father and his brother. When police showed up, they say that man was in the street carrying a pickaxe. They made multiple attempts to get him to put it down, speaking with him for around 10 minutes. Then some officers began firing non-lethal rounds at him and used a taser, which the man tried to block with a chair. Then police say the man ran toward them with a pickaxe. 5 officers fired at him.
When we respond to an incident like this and not knowing what had happened in that house and whether we needed to get in that house to render medical aid as well, there was a need to get in and make sure that there had not been anyone harmed.
And police say that man died here at the scene. They found what they do believe to be a suicide note in the house, but there was no one else in that home who was harmed. Now, the man's family members told me they wish police had recognized they were dealing with someone with mental illness and acted differently.
He was the nicest person in the world. You know, he never had any bad bone in his body. He always gave to everybody. He'd give his last.
Victor Ancira says her brother, Victor Ancira, was the man killed in the officer-involved shooting Wednesday.
Especially all his nieces and nephews and things that we got to break it down to and tell it's not right.
She lived in the house with him, but wasn't there at the time. While Victor was dealing with police outside, she says her dad and another brother were inside asleep with no idea he'd called 911.
They should have been educated on how to handle him.
Sylvia says Victor was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. She wonders if police handled her brother's mental illness properly.
Multiple times, and they know, they have him documented. They helped us take him to the Shoal Creek one time, you know, or a couple of times, because he doesn't take his meds. Sometimes they don't want to take their meds. You can't force them.
Victor leaves behind a daughter and many family members wondering why officers used lethal force.
And in this case, he didn't deserve it, you know. He did not deserve to die like that.
And we asked Austin police if they sent a mental health officer when they responded to that initial call. We haven't heard back from Austin police on that yet, but we do know that there were in total 8 officers who fired at the man this morning. Of those, 3 of them fired those less lethal rounds and 5 of them fired lethal rounds. All of those officers are being placed on administrative leave while the shooting continues to be investigated. Sydney, back to you.
All right, Alyssa.